Welcome to My Movement. Today we're diving into something millions of people wrestle with daily: anxiety and overthinking. If your mind races nonstop, worries spiral out of control, or you feel stuck in loops of what ifs, you're definitely not alone. Anxiety isn't just feeling a little nervous before a presentation or an exam. It is persistent and sometimes overwhelming experience that can hijack your peace of mind. Overthinking, that's the mental hamster wheel where your thoughts spin endlessly, replaying the past or worrying about the future without landing on any solution. But here's the kicker: anxiety and overthinking are deeply connected. One feeds the other in a loop that's hard to break. So, what's really going on? Our brains are wired to protect us from danger. When the system senses a threat, real or imagined, it kicks into a higher gear. You get physical symptoms like a racing heart, a tight chest, or sweaty palms. That's anxiety triggering your fight or flight response. But in modern life, those threats aren't always obvious. The danger might be a tight deadline, a difficult conversation, or a relentless buzz of social media notifications. Your nervous system can stay stuck in this alert mode for hours, days, and even years. Now, here's the thing. Here's where it gets tricky. Because your brain is wired for action, it craves quick fixes to escape that anxious state. So what do? We reach for distractions. Anything to calm down the mind, anything to quiet the noise in our head. And let me be clear, I'm not judging here. I get it, we all do it. Sometimes we dive into endless scrolling on our phones, or binge watching Netflix shows to the early hours, or grabbing just one more drink to unwind. Others might shop impulsively, overeat, or even turn to substances like alcohol, drugs. And there's are more that we are talking less about. Escapes like compulsive masturbation, pornography, or any habit that temporarily numbs the mind. These are dopamine driven distractions. Dopamine is the brain's reward chemical. It lights up when we do something pleasurable, creating a quick hit of relief of happiness. But here's the catch: these dopamine hits are temporary. The anxiety and overthinking don't go away, they just hide under the surface, waiting to bubble up again. And the more we chase those hits, the more we get stuck where we get them. It's like trying to put out fire by pouring gasoline on it. What we really need is a different approach, one that helps our nervous system to settle down and our mind to find clarity. And that's where the techniques like NSDR, non-sleep deep rest, come in. But before we get into that, it is important for me to understand that anxiety and overthinking are not signs of weakness or personal failure. There are natural responses to our environment and life stresses. Please understand and listen when I say, you're not broken, you're human. In the next part, we'll explore how these patterns develop in the brain and body and what happens when anxiety becomes chronic. We'll also look at how slowing down, calming the nervous system, and retraining your brain can change the game. If you ever felt trapped by your own mind, then this is for you. Stay with me. So now that we understand what anxiety and overthinking are, let's dive deeper into how they develop and why they can feel so hard to escape. At its core, anxiety is your brain's way of keeping you safe. Think of it as an alarm system designed to detect danger. But in today's world, that alarm goes off for things that aren't actually life-threatening. Deadlines, social situations, financial worries. These modern stresses can trick your nervous system into thinking you're in danger. This constant alert state keeps your body and mind on the edge. The feeling that you're always on. When anxiety kicks in, your brain activates the fight or flight response, releasing stress hormones like adrenaline, cortisol. These prepare your body to respond quickly by increasing heart rate, tightening muscles, sharpening your senses. This was life-saving when our ancestors were facing real threats like predators, the lion, the tiger. But now, that same system gets triggered by everyday stress, and it doesn't turn off easily. The problem is when your brain stays in a heightened state too long, it rewires itself, new neural pathways strengthening around worry and fear. This means your mind becomes wired to expect danger even when it isn't any. Let me repeat it again. It starts to expect danger even when there isn't any. That's how anxiety turns into an occasional feeling into a chronic condition. Overthinking fits right into the cycle. When your brain is stuck in survival mode, it tries to solve problems obsessively, scanning for threats, rehearsing what ifs, and replaying past mistakes. The mental chatter feels endless, and it feeds the anxiety further. So, this creates a loop where anxiety fuels overthinking, and overthinking fuels anxiety. And what about the body? Because anxiety isn't just in your head. Your nervous system becomes hyperactive. Your body notices shallow breathing, muscle tension, rapid heartbeat, even digestive issues. These physical symptoms can increase your sense of unease, making it feel like anxiety is everywhere. Over time, this constant tension wears down. It wears your whole body down. Your resilience, you might feel tired all the time, you struggle to concentrate, and you have difficulty sleeping. This is when anxiety and overthinking often go hand in hand with exhaustion and burnout. It's not just about worrying too much. It's about your brain and body being stuck in a loop. They don't know how to break it. But here's the hopeful part. The brain is plastic. That means it can change. You can retrain your nervous system to respond differently. Slowing down, calming the nervous system, and practicing deep rest can help your brain rewire away from constant alertness. That's where techniques like NSDR, non-sleep deep rest, come in. They help shift your brain waves into calmer patterns, reduce stress hormones, and signal your body that it's safe to relax. And with consistent practice, you can start to quiet the mental chatter, ease your anxiety, and regain control over your thoughts. But before we get there, let's take a moment to recognize you're not alone in this. Millions of people experience these challenges. Anxiety disorder affects nearly 1 in 5 adults in the US each year, and rates are rising globally. The good news is recovery is possible, and it begins with understanding your nervous system and giving it the tools to heal. So in this next part, we'll explore practical steps you can take, including how to use NSDR for calming the mind, calming anxiety, and overthinking. So stay with me. So now that we understand how anxiety and overthinking take hold in our brain and body, let's look at how they show up in our daily life and why they can be so exhausting. Anxiety isn't just feeling you experience in a stressful moment. For many, it's a constant undercurrent, a background noise that affects almost everything you do. You might notice that your mind is always racing, even when there's nothing urgent to think about. That constant mental chatter can make it hard to focus on your work, enjoy conversation, or simply relax. I remember having anxiety myself. Even in a nice social conversation, I was listening, but I was in the back of my head. Like I wasn't really there, but at the same time I was. I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but I think people with anxiety understand what I'm saying. Physically, anxiety can cause muscle tension, headaches, stomach upset, and even disrupt your sleep. You might find yourself waking up at night, unable to quiet your mind, or feeling tired all the time despite getting enough rest. This cycle is exhausting and mentally and physically exhausting. And it doesn't stop there. Anxiety and overthinking impact your relationships. You might find yourself withdrawn from friends or family because you feel overwhelmed or misunderstood. You might avoid social situations for fear of judgment or embarrassment. This isolation can deepen feelings of loneliness and fuel even more anxiety. At work, anxiety can reduce productivity and increase mistakes. Overthinking slows down decision making and drains your energy. Over time, these impacts can affect your overall quality of life. But here's the thing. You're not alone in the struggle. Studies show that the US alone nearly has 40 million adults that experience anxiety disorder each year. It's about 80% of the population. In Europe and other parts of the world, the numbers are similarly high and rising, especially with the stresses of modern day life. It is important to recognize that anxiety and overthinking are common responses to complex challenges. They aren't a personal failure or something to be ashamed of. Understanding this can help reduce the stigma and encourage you to seek support. So what can you do? The first step is awareness, noticing your patterns without judgment. When you catch yourself spiraling into anxious thoughts or overthinking, pause. Take a deep breath. And remind yourself that these feelings are as intense as they may be, don't define you. There are effective tools and techniques to calm your mind and your nervous system. And one of the most promising approaches to calm your mind and nervous system is NSDR. By guiding your brain into deeply relaxed state, NSDR can help break the cycle of anxiety and overthinking. Regular practice rewires your brain, stress response, and creates a new pathway to calm and get more clarity. In the next part, we'll dive into practical ways to use NSDR in your daily routine and how to get started. Remember, recovery is a journey, and every step forward matters. So now that we covered what anxiety and overthinking are and how they can impact your life, we can get practical. How can you use NSDR to calm your nervous system and quiet your mind? NSDR is a simple but powerful technique that helps your brain to shift from a state of high alert into deep relaxation without actually falling asleep. Hence the name, non-sleep, deep rest. Think of it as a neural reset button. And here are some practical ways to start using NSDR in your daily routine. So number one is schedule NSDR sessions daily. Consistency is the key. Now, I know I've been working as a therapist for a long time, and I've helped over 30,000 people worldwide now. And when I explain the science behind this and how it works, all my clients always say, yes, I go for it. And then after the first days, they start really, positive and with a lot of joy, and they see the results quickly. After the first, second, third session, they always report like, oh my God, I never felt so peaceful and my body was off and I feel amazing. And yet after 2 weeks, when I see them again, I ask, and how's it going? Like, well, yeah, no. And they say, what happened? Well, I started good, but after a few days, I stopped doing the practice. I said, why? Yeah, kind of busy. Now, listen up. There's no judgment here. This is neuroplasticity. If your body and brain is hardwired to always be on, the body will resist. And you might find it challenging to incorporate a new practice for 10 to 15, even 30 minutes a day. But we all know, we all will have 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So if you fall back into old habit, don't worry. This is normal. It's not a failure on your part. It's just that the old pathways are more deeply ingrained. And that's why I advise you to reprogram your brain with this new pathway, with this practice, by taking time each day to calm down your nervous system, to rewire your brain, to rewire your nervous system. So try to set aside 15 to 30 minutes each day, in the mornings, afternoons, evening, whatever fits your schedule. But try to find a steady moment. I always say at the end of your workday, before you do anything else, do this first. Or if you find it difficult to wind down or start your day because your mind's already racing, do it before work. But a regular practice trains your nervous system to downshift and makes it easy over time. So number two is use NSDR before sleep. If you have racing thoughts that keep you up at night, An NSDR session will will help you calm down your mind and relaxes your body. This can shorten the time it takes to fall asleep and improve your sleep quality. Please avoid screens before bed. And I have designed an NSDR especially for deep sleep. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, and in the Mind Movement app. So number 3 is use NSDR when anxiety hits. So if you feel anxiety during the day, tight chest, rapid thoughts, physical tension, pause. Take a break. So the first thing you can do is the physiological side. This you breathe in and you the normal breathing. Then you do it again. You inhale and you do this for 3 times. And then you start using the 4 breaths in and 6 breaths out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 breaths in. 2, 3, 4. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the easy way when anxiety hits. And you can try to do this for 10 minutes. And then I would suggest to go and try to practice NSDR. So you find a quiet, comfortable place. You lie down or you sit with support. You close your eyes. You follow the guided practice. So number 4 is pair NSDR with breath awareness. And focus on your breath as a gateway to calm. Deep, slow breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest. So, as I explained, the breathing exercise, you can incorporate this, but in the NSDR I developed for anxiety overthinking, I also incorporated this practice of breathing. So you can do it in this exercise and I will guide you into it. So number 5 is create a safe environment. Find a peaceful spot where you won't be disturbed. Dim the lights, use headphones for better focus, and create a habitual habit around your practice to signal your brain it's time to relax. So when I sit and lay down, which I do every day, my body already goes into this deep state of relaxation because it already knows what it's going to do. But it happens because I've been practicing for such a long time. Well, number 6 is be patient and gentle with yourself. NSDR is a skill that will get better with time. Some days your mind will wander more than others, and that's okay. Sometimes you won't feel relaxed completely. That's okay. Sometimes you fall asleep. That means your body may be a little bit tired. The practice isn't about being perfect. Even when I'm recording this podcast, I'm thinking, I misspoke or misspelled, and I'm like, you know what? I can re-record or just show I'm human. I am human, just as you are. It's not about perfection. For me, it's about getting the message across for you, for your anxiety and overthinking. Not about being perfect. And it's the same with the practice. It's all about showing up and allowing to rest. To give yourself permission to say, hey, it is okay to be safe, grounded, and be calm. Over time, you notice reduced anxiety, clear thinking, and improved emotional resilience. So number 7 is combine NSDR with other support. Remember, NSDR is a powerful tool, but it's only one part of a broader self-care approach. Consider combining it with therapy, coaching, movement, very important, even just walking daily 30 minutes. Healthy nutrition, eat clean and natural, real food, don't have ingredients, and social connection is so important. Feeling heard, seen, and understood. It's all about creating a lifestyle that supports your nervous system. If you're ready to get started, I have developed a free NSDR session designed specially for anxiety overthinking. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, and the Mind Movement app. Just lay down, press play, and let your nervous system reset. In the next part, we'll explore how to deepen your NSDR practice and some tips to stay consistent. So embracing the process and staying committed. Now that you understand the problem, the impact and the solution, let's talk about what happens next. Practicing NSDR and calming your nervous system isn't always easy at first. You might feel some resistance, your body and mind are used to being on the edge. Sometimes tension or restlessness might even increase before it gets better. That's normal. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. At first it feels a little bit wobbly and uncertain, but with practice it becomes smooth and natural. I see it many times when people give up too quickly. It's like going to the gym the first time and you feel the muscle ache. Yes, when you start practicing NSDR in the beginning, for me, the most people, the first time, they feel at least more relaxed. And then the second time, even more deeper. And the third time, even more deeper. But there are days when we are so overwhelmed, so overstimulated, we find ourselves, staying a little bit restless. But the key is to keep laying down and to stay till the end of the practice, no matter what. Every time you practice, you're rewiring your brain and nervous system. You're building new pathways of calm and safety as a new baseline. It takes time, patience, and self-compassion. So remember, don't give up, never skip a day. And more importantly to remember, you are not broken. You are doing something powerful for your health. Resistance means change is happening. Keep going. The new calm is on the other side of your discomfort. The result of change is on the other side of your discomfort. Anxiety and overthinking are deeply ingrained habits, but habits can be changed. By practicing NSDR regularly, you are training your system to let go of fear and tension. You're creating a space for rest, clarity, and peace. And slowly, this new way of being becomes your new normal. So if you feel stuck or frustrated, know that's all part of the journey. Be gentle with yourself. Celebrate every small step and keep showing up for yourself because your nervous system will learn to relax. You're not alone in this. Thousands of people are feeling this tension, but thousands of people are healing and growing one breath at a time. Your resets starts now. So thank you for joining me on this journey. I encourage you to try the free NSDR session, specially designed for anxiety overthinking. You find it on YouTube, Spotify, and in the Mind Movement app. The only thing you have to do is just to lay down, press play, and give yourself permission to rest. And please remember, you're not alone on this journey. Every step you take towards calming your mind and your body is a victory. Healing takes time and patience. Be gentle with yourself. Keep showing up, keep breathing, and know that change is possible. You're doing something powerful, and we're here with you. Thank you for listening to Mind Movement.